Somebody's gotta say it. Time Factor. The real conservative truth lives here. LHMusic, what? LHMusic on your radio. America's global fuzzball Christian conservative LHMusic and the Time Factor crew. This is the LHMusic Time Factor radio show. Are you sensing that we actually have some good members of Congress and the Senate now? We have some, to make lists. With some of the chalkboard, with the public, with the chalkboard, let's make a list of this. Of the senators that we like, because I think senators and congressmen, we're actually getting something. We're getting Scott Browns of the world. We're getting to have some guys I think are decent. We have Chuck Schumer. No. It's not that. We have in the Senate. Who did we have? We have Jim DeMint. That was it. Now we have. It was. We have Mike Lee. Solid as a rock. Rand Paul. Oh yes. Uber strong. Ted Cruz, who's like this. I hate to break this to you, but porn here for the stallion. He's just stomping their heads in the ground. And I love that. And that seems to be bringing Cornyn along for the ride, too. Cornyn, I think, knows what's happening. I think Perry, too. Yes. I think Perry is. I think Perry's getting it. I don't know if you saw the thing that he said yesterday. Yeah, we're going to play that. Yeah, we'll see what they said after Perry's coming along. Very good. It is a little bit later. Perry was really strong on what was happening in the Common Court. And stopped Common Court from happening in Texas. Unfortunately, what they did see was C-Scope, weather the court. These guys, when they're doing the people, we're at the end of the Republican. As we know, with the end of states having any say whatsoever in many things. We don't pay attention to it right now. We did the Common Core in a second. Let's go back to the Senate first. Cruz yesterday was talking about guns on what committee was it? Patrick Leahy's. Yeah. Ovaltine. And he was chairing this thing. Cruz starts in about the Constitution, and they don't like it if we talk about the Constitution. Listen to this, Sage.
Is that the Constitution, in my opinion, should be the touchstone of everything we do. Some have suggested in this here the role of Congress is to pass laws, and it's up to the court to consider constitutionality. I would point out that every one of us takes an oath to defend the Constitution. Thank you for the lecture.
Yeah, you're somebody in background on the mic that I don't know. Yeah. Here's a place. Here's according to Mark Levin's interviews on my Time Factor website, and everybody's mic is usually turned off. The chairman's mic is left open. They believe it's a Leahy or someone that's Patrick Leaky Leahy. Yeah. Obviously, it was the voice of a 137-year-old. So we think it was like yes. Here's another one where that happened.
In my view, the Constitution is particularly important when the Bill of Rights is unpopular. That was the entire purpose of the Bill of Rights. When our rights are popular, we don't need the Constitution. The purpose
Oh Lord, I should have known.
Here's why they don't like it. The part
where Finestein.
Let me just make a couple of points in response. One, I'm not a sixth grader.
No, a sixth grader has.
A sixth grader has nothing to do with it, Miss Einstein.
For 20 years, I was a mayor for 9 years. I walked
9 years. Oh God, how pathetic that is. Oh God. Listen, Dianne Finestein. But let this be clear to you. You didn't answer the question about this Constitution, do you? They hate yeah.
For so long in their ivory towers, and with this power, they don't want to hear about the Constitution.
Oh, jeez.
They don't think that they're constrained by the Constitution.
Here's what they really truly believe.
If they were honest,
And they were honest. They say these guys, you get here, you just got here, you little baby. You come in with your cute little, I like what people believe in the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't work that way. It has nothing to do with it. Miss Einstein. It's not the way power works, doesn't even know it. You will figure it out at time. Shut up and sit down. That's exactly what it would do.
And they will say things like, I love the Constitution as much as you do. And they don't. But they don't. But they don't have any respect at all for the Constitution.
Yeah.
They say that because they really truly believe the Constitution is like the flag. You look at it and you're like, oh, it stands for so many great principles. But you know, the flag doesn't guide you on what you're doing. Right. And that's the way they look at beyond all that.
Exactly.
Right? I love the flag.
I love the flag too.
You get how it works around here. Right. It's much different. We have to do things differently. This has been said.
This was said to me before, but somebody was breathtaking to me. Look here. You and I know this. We both love the Constitution, okay?
But
there are times and things it just had to do with it.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. You always follow the Constitution. But they really truly believe that they just have to do the things that they have to do. And if the Supreme Court says that it's fine with the Supreme Court. But then they go the extra step and they make sure that there was nobody respects the Constitution on that court. They make sure that if you respect the Constitution, you don't get it old enough. They respect the Constitution and don't want the judges to respect the Constitution. They think that these guys coming in here just little babies. Oh, they can you know what, honestly? The journalists, all liberal journalists, they look at these journalists, they sit down and they're going out and together is somehow or another. The new journalist is sitting next to the veteran. The veteran says, listen, kid, I was like you once, alright? I'm realistic. Nothing changes in the world, dirtbags and all scumbags. That's just the way it is. You get over it. That's exactly what these guys are. And it's exactly what you need termites.
Yes. Why can't we need them so badly? Jim DeMint put out a constitutional amendment when he was still in the Senate.
Yeah, from the Heritage Foundation.
27 votes in the Senate, 27. That was said that would limit senators to 2 terms, and I think Congress to 3 in the House.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that's supported, by the way, by over 70% of Americans. Yet these guys will never do it because it affects them. You see the chart I sent you a couple days ago?
The chart. Everybody sends a chart. The term limits.
I do not remember. Yeah,
when George Washington was in office, up until 1800s, the re-election of new senators was almost 99%. Senators, House Representatives, they would go out and say, hey, you re-elected George Washington is still in office. It's almost like 99% at the beginning of the country. And then it goes down, and slowly goes down, and gets down to about 60%. Until 1913. And Woodrow Wilson, it starts creeping up. And it slowly crept up, and takes a real big jump in the 1930s and 40s. And slowly creeps up, and then back up to the 99%. That you don't have a chance of electing these guys. It is, and the reason is, once they put in the graft, when they put in the candy for the American people, you can't vote against these guys because what? They know. I'll give you more stuff. These new guys, they'll turn it off. And so they're doing exactly what Franklin said they would do. If you look, it's Woodrow Wilson with a 60% return rate. That's up in the high 90s again. And the only time in American history is like that was under George Washington's. Imagine what the country felt like at George Washington. A little different, and we held on to it. And now, do we feel like this? What's incredible to me is nobody likes this Congress. No, nobody.
8% approval.
And you can't throw out. How is that even possible?
And a person like Dianne Finestein should have gone a long time. Leahy,
Let us be fair. Lindsey Graham? Oh, gee, whatever. As soon as they start to say,
I'm going to be on this committee, and I'm going to be... done. As soon as they start to say to their friends, and if
If
you
you
know
know any freshman or sophomore who is in conference, and they are the same to you, yes, but next year I do the chair of this committee. Next year, I will really have power. Because next term, I can tell them to get out. They're losing their own souls. Tell them to get out.
Eliminates that, obviously, because nobody has
They're losing their own souls.
to stay on these committees forever. There's not another term, so you can't promise that. You just have to do what you think is right, and then you're done. You serve, and you go back to
Right.
And then it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That is one of the things that they use against term limits, though, because it takes you that long just to understand how Washington works. So that's the
No. Oh no. Wait a minute. Again. When do we start lobbying
Congress?
Congress?
When did these
lobbyists start this way?
Under Woodrow Wilson.
Under Woodrow Wilson. They started under Woodrow Wilson. And then the war was over. It was all this manning. He said, you know what, you guys come and want to do lobbyists on your war machine. And so they came in and they were lobbying him and what to buy and what they could do and everything else to do. And they left the building. So the war was over. And I don't remember the guy's name, but he said, this is crazy. We can do it with everything. But in the 1930s, 1920s, 5 or so, it was back building offices and making sure that he had lobbyists for any when they want to Congress. Professional lobbyists started this. That's the thing that it says, well, you don't know how it works. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. You don't want them to learn anymore.
That's we're going to get to this audio because it's Dianne Finestein saying, I've been here for a million years.
Oh, God.
In Sandy Hook, youngsters
Oh.
dismembered.
Oh.
Look, there are other weapons. I've been up close.
Not alone
For
yet.
20 years, I've been up
I've been
close and
close.
personal to the Constitution.
Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. Oh, shut up. You crazy. You're so blindsided, Dianne Feinstein. You don't know the Constitution. I took all this and had on the Constitution. Doesn't mean anything. No.
Baseball game doesn't make me good at baseball.
Oh, yeah.